objective for today, learn how to use Git and GitHub to work on a project as a team. Basically, we're going to be focusing on forks and pull requests. So we've already used Git and GitHub pretty frequently. So let's review some of those fundamentals, right? And this is more kind of mock technical interview practice as well. Sometimes the hardest questions are like the general, like just what is this thing, right? Our brains like kind of freak out sometimes with the weirdly simple questions. So with that being said, what is Git? What do you think, Daniel?
Some kind of version control system.
Yeah, so that's the term you want to mention to the interviewer, right? That'll probably check the box. But then what is more kind of the answer to your buddy about what does it actually do for us?
It kind of allows us to save, like like it's almost like a save state for your entire like code or
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, different, versions of our saved code. That's one very important function, but not the one we're actually going to care about almost at all today. What's the other very important function, Roman?
It allows multiple developers to work on the same code
Yeah.
and keep track of the changes.
So a team of however many can push some code, some new code, get code that other people have written by doing pull requests, or I'm sorry, just pulling actually. So it enables a team to collaborate on as big a project as there can be, right? So, what is GitHub? If that's sorry. So this enables collaboration is actually a part of GitHub. I don't think you can do that without with just Git. I don't know. I've never seen that done. I've never heard about that being done, but there's probably always a way, but it's not the standard way. So anyway, what is GitHub? Jiang?
Um, I think it's a remotely version control system, or like
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
And enables collaboration. So if we use just normal Git, it's storing it in our hard drive, but if we spill coffee or whatever, we can lose all that code. GitHub is a backup to that to save our project, but it enables this awesome collaboration with your team. So, how can we use GitHub to build our capstone projects? So, team leader. Step one. You're going to create a project. Create either the front end or back end of your project and initialize a Git repo. Initialize a Git repo. So let's do that, right? Let's pretend we're creating super hungry pets. So I'm going to create a directory, super hungry pets. I'm going to cd into it. I'm going to open that up in VS Code. Okay, so this is going to be, let me change this actually to be, can I not change the name of this? I want to change the name of it to be, Super Hungry Pets backend. Let's see if I can be fancy and do this from, do this from the terminal. Someone might have to help me out, but I think the command to change something's name, Super Hungry Pets to Super Hungry Pets backend. Did that work? Yeah. Okay, so I just did that to change its name. You're going to have my recommendation to you, and I know we've talked about this before, one repo for your backend, one for your front end. So we're going to start with our backend. Now, let's say, well, first thing, to make this a Git project, what do I have to do, Rodrigo? What do I have to do to have Git track this folder for changes?
So you have to git init.
Yeah. So git init will create that hidden .git folder. And now if I'm creating a server, what's like the first file I'd be creating, Alex, for a backend? Say I just want to like start writing an Express server that says hello world. What's kind of the first file I would make?
Index.js.
Yeah. So we're going to create a new file called index.js. And that's a fine place to be like, okay, well, I'm going to commit and push this to my new repo. So we're still on step 1. So let's go to GitHub. And let's create a new repo. And we're going to call it Super Hungry Pets. And it's up to you if you want it to be public or private, except when you submit it, I do, of course, have to see it. So maybe just make it public unless you have a reason to make it private for now. Like this becomes a real business and you want to lock it down, that's fine. All right, create repository. I'm going to copy the URL. How do I add this? So this is my local Git. I want to connect to the GitHub repo. How can I go ahead and tell local Git where to connect to this GitHub URL, Victor?
I can't remember this stuff with the terminal always stumps me. It's not a git commit, is it?
No, it will be at one point. Oh my! I think VS Code froze up on me, or my keyboard died. No. All right, let me try to reopen this. Something's up. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to do git remote add origin and then paste in the URL of the GitHub repo. And then I'm going to add everything and commit it. My VS Code just disappeared. Did you guys see that? It literally just disappeared as I was typing. All right, let's try again. Okay, I'm going to assume that worked. I'm not really sure. Let's try to git push to origin master and get this index.js file there. So this is what the team leader, this is step 1 for the team leader, okay? So we've created this index.js. Now, step 1 is done. Step 1 for the other team members. So team members, step 1. fork the repo. Fork the like, well, I don't want to call it master or main because those have meanings in Git, but fork the repo from team leader. So actually at this point in the lecture, I want to pretend that one of you guys is on my team. I'm the team leader and one of you guys is one of my members. So yeah, so you're going to go ahead and fork the repo from me. Make a change and commit it to your repo. And then step 3, go to your team leader's repo and request a new pull request. So I'm going to actually turn this over to one of you guys, a volunteer, to do this, and we'll do it together. Ryan, would you be cool with sharing your screen and doing this part? I can obviously lead you through it too.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing, and then actually, I think there's let's see how we do. I'm going to stop sharing and turn this over to Ryan, and then I'm going to talk him through how to do this process.
Okay, I'll find oops.
Okay, so you're on my repo. Very nice. Now you're going to click you're going to click fork. So that fork 0, you're going to click fork. Yep. Keep all the defaults, create fork. And then this is going to create a copy. So this is what a fork is, right? A copy of someone else's project that you now own. So instead of Max.JS Super Hungry Pets, it says Rye JW at the top left there, Super Hungry Pets. So now copy the URL, your repo's URL, not mine, but yours. Yeah. And then we're going to git clone this project down. So I'm the team leader. Ryan's on my team. He forked my project, and now he's going to clone it. So open up VS Code, Ryan.
Yeah, just a second.
So now he's going to clone his forked version of my project. So git clone and then that URL. And then go ahead and CD into that. Open that up in code. So code space dot space dash R. Yeah, dot space dash R. Oh, never mind. Let's do file, open folder. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to use bash, you can have those shortcuts, I guess. Yeah, you trust me?
Yeah.
All right, so click on index.js. And now you're one of my team members. You want to help me build this server. What's like some possible, to get our Express server going, what's some possible lines of code you might do? Sure. Not really anything to do with a server, but we can do that. So save this important code you wrote, open the terminal, and now we're going to commit it and push it to your local GitHub repo or your GitHub repo. So I think it's master.
Sorry, I need to.
Yeah,
sign in.
and this is being recorded, so definitely don't show anything private.
Just give me a
Yeah.
second.
So to recap, while he's doing that, he forked my project as team leader. He contributed some code. He committed it. He pushed it to his fork. And that's where we're at.
So the command on the terminal is git clone and the URL of the forked repo.
Yeah, git clone was the first step as a team member you're going to do. Okay, so now go back to
That worked.
GitHub and verify that it worked. Go to your repo first. Is this your? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's
So you see the console.log that he wrote. Now click on my repo, and I think you can access that from clicking on your, or yeah, any way you can access that is fine. So now click on, no, go back. Yeah. So now click on pull requests. And do a new pull request. And click compare across forks. So he's in my team leader repo now. And he's going to say, this is what a pull request is. Please pull in my code to your project. So he's going from Next.JS to change that second one to yours, Ryan. So the head repository, yeah, that one to yours. It shows what the change is going to be. Create pull request. Create pull request. And that's it. Okay, stop sharing, Ryan. So now, me as team leader, I'm back in charge. And let me share my screen. Now I come over to GitHub. And I find my repo. Super hungry pets. And now look, I have pull requests. I have one that's in my inbox or active. So I click on Ryan's pull request and I check out what he did. I can comment if I want. I can look at the code and look at the commits, but we know what he did, right? He just did the console.log 0. And the files change, console.log hello world. And then we can go ahead and do merge pull request. So we're allowing this code to be pulled into our main project. Okay, now back here in my local project as team leader, I don't see Ryan's project. How are we doing with these steps anyway? Okay, so back to team leader. Well, this actually applies to anyone. So after changes by other team members have been made, you need to git pull. Git pull from main for the team leader, or git pull upstream. I'm sorry, are we using master? Yeah, git pull master. So first you'll see it from me as team leader. I believe, have to do git pull origin because it's mine, master. So let me change this. Git pull origin master. And let's see if that works. So I got Ryan's new code. That's awesome. But it's a little bit easier for me because I own the repo. So let's console.log hi Ryan and save this and commit it. And then Ryan is going to need to pull this new code to his repo. Let's try that again with quotes. Okay, so now I made some changes, or other team members made changes, and Ryan needs to get those changes, the console.log hire Ryan. So now let's switch back to Ryan. And now Ryan, go to your folder and let's do so here's the thing, do git remote -v. Here's the problem. What do we see, right? What do we just see? Ryan's local, or not local, but Ryan's GitHub repo that he owns. But we want to make a connection to my repo because that's where everyone in my team is making pull requests. So we have to add an upstream. So we're going to do git remote add upstream of my URL. So you can go back to GitHub and grab my, but yeah, just the first part. Yeah. And now we're going to do git remote add upstream and paste in mine. Yep. Enter. To verify, you can do git remote -v. So now we have this new option of upstream. So now let's try to do git pull upstream. We want to grab the new code into our master. Yeah. Well, actually leave off master because we're in master right now. So I don't think you need it. Okay. Enter there. We're not supposed to say a branch. Okay. I guess we do need git pull upstream master. Let's try to do. Awesome. There we go. So now everyone in your team is contributing. So it might take a little bit to get used to, a lot of bit to get used to, honestly. But that is going to be the process. All right. Thank you, Ryan. That was awesome. Claps for Ryan. Well, you guys are all muted, but he gets the idea. All right. Questions on any of that?
Yeah, I've got a question.
Sure. Let me turn my screen share back on. Okay. What do you got, David?
At the beginning, you forked, and then you cloned, but why not just clone directly the repo? Like, why do we have to fork first?
Because you don't have permission to make direct changes on his repo. All you can do is ask for him to pull in your changes, unless and you guys. So I'm showing you the most standard way that this actually occurs. If you want, though, the alternative would be one repo and you give everybody write permission. Then you can just it's a free for all. You can just make commits directly. So that is an option if you want to do it that way. But this is more valuable to get in the hang of because this is like the real flow of things when you get your first job. Other questions on this flow? You guys should practice too a little bit. As a team, do a test backend repo and try to practice. Everybody contribute one line of code would be a good strategy. I'm not going to micromanage that, so I'm going to not make it do or anything, but that might be a good team leader activity decision.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Well, more like a request. Could you put the how you call it? The commands on the notes for later?
Yeah. Is there any I missed from here?
Like the git clone and I
Well,
don't
right
remember
here it says clone.
the
Yeah.
last ones that Ryan made.
Which one?
The last ones that Ryan made for the last steps.
I'm sorry. Sorry. One more time, Rodrigo.
The last commands that Ryan made.
Oh, the last command that Ryan made was git pull upstream master. But he also had to make sure you get remote add upstream whatever that URL is if you aren't TL, team leader. Yeah. So I think those are that's every command we did right now.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Max, okay. Daniel, you go ahead.
Thank you. Sorry, Max, I have a bit of a maybe dumb question, but assuming that let's say that the person in charge did like npm install express and install Prisma on the back end, for example, and then that adds it to like their modules and their dependencies, and then they push that to the GitHub repo, and then one of the teammates pulls that. Do they then have to install that stuff themselves on their end, or is that already all part of the code that they're pulling into their and from GitHub?
So you're still going to definitely do .git ignore.
Mm-hmm.
That's still going to be very important.
Okay.
Really more important than ever because you're working with a team now. You're going to ignore the node modules. So when somebody installs Express, it's going to show up in package.json. They're going to push that to the repo. Everyone else is going to pull. And then in their package.json, now they list that as a dependency. And then if they haven't run npmi, they will have to run npmi to get Express.
But then would that be just npmi, or would they also have to do everything, including all the ones in the dependencies, I guess? Or will npmi take care of just
npmi will take care of installing all the dependencies per the package.json.
Okay.
So this is still going to be a normal Node Express server with npm init -y. All that you're going to do here. So everything you've learned is still applicable. Renata.
I do have just a minor question just about Git branching. I kind of learned it a bit different, but I mean, I'm want to do it this way too, but I was just curious because like how I did it before is that you had like your main or your master branch, and then you would I guess make a branch of it.
Yeah.
Like and then you wouldn't so each person, like you would commit your, I guess, your feature, and then from there you at the end of the project, that's when you would I guess merge it to the main.
Not the end, but continuously when it's very good to go, you're gonna pull it in to master. Yeah. So what Renata is describing is really the most the real way when you show up at your job, it's gonna happen. What I'm showing you is like a little bit simplified version without branches, just because that's another layer of complexity. But it might be worth 5 minutes showing branches. Yeah, we might as well do that. So Ryan, can I still have your help? So if you don't mind screen sharing again. So now Ryan's going to create, he doesn't want to pollute the master branch. So he's going to create a branch called, let's just call it Ryan, right? So he's going to do git checkout -b. B as in boy, and then space Ryan. Enter. And this is going to create a new branch that he's on right now, I hope. Yeah, switch to new branch Ryan. So now on line 4, just console.log hi from Ryan branch. Save that. Here is also a problem we have, though. Oh, the changes I made, I didn't commit and push, I don't think. So that's not actually a problem yet. So now let's add and commit and push. So let's think about this. So let's push origin, and what branch are we pushing? Yep. Enter. So now go to your, now go to, I think my PR. Yeah, mine, and do a new pull request. Oh, it's even doing it for us. Yeah, compare and pull request. So look at that. So GitHub is even anticipating that this is the real way you're going to do it, because it's automatically showed us that message and it didn't before. So, now Ryan's going to create the pull request. And then it's going to be the same on my end, so I don't have to show you that, right? I'm still going to just approve it, and then we're still going to pull as normal. So all that will be the same. But if this is more complicated to you, then don't use branches. Just use everybody's on master on their repo versus the team leader's repo. I think might be easier. But I'm not going to micromanage that.
I have a question. Is it better to have one repo with a front end and back end folder, or 2 repos?
No, 2 repos for sure. Does anyone know why? I mean, for sure, in my opinion. For deployment.
When you deploy?
Yeah. Just to make deployment easier. Because you always, you guys know, for deployment. All right. Thanks, Ryan. Final questions.
Sorry, one more question.
Sure.
So if you're doing it, I guess with the branching, then you're not doing this upstream, and that's just the other way of doing it.
No, you're still going to need upstream to pull.
Oh, okay. Because I never did that before. I did branches, but I never used upstream. But
how did you pull from the other person's repo?
You can do like a get pull with their branch, I believe.
Yeah.
That's how I remember doing it.
Yeah, but you still have to give it the URL, right? Of their. Yeah, I can't see how it doesn't work without their upstream being recorded.
So to begin with, we created like an organization with 4 of us.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't somebody else's.
Yeah. That's going to be totally different then. That's in you're all accessing the same repo. Yeah, that's going to be a different situation. I think this scenario is a little more realistic, honestly.
Okay.
But again, if you as a team feel more comfortable doing this a different way, totally fine. All right, I think we're going to call it. Oh, is there another question?
Max, I have a question.
Sure.
So after you approve Ryan's pull request, doesn't he need to delete the branch that he made?
No, I don't think it automatically deletes. There's an option to delete it.
Oh, but he has to. Does he have to delete that branch? Or?
No, he could keep it and work on that branch and send me more.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's get you guys into your capstone groups.